just playing cash. Didn't have it in me to play tournaments today.
You ever had Turkish eggs?
Had what?
Turkish eggs.
No.
Apparently, they're poached eggs served over garlicky yogurt,
Sounds very Turkish.
topped with warm, spicy butter. And you eat it. You spread this yogurt on a plate, put poached eggs on top of it, pour this warm butter, and then dip bread in. That sounds disgusting. It looks disgusting. Different cultures, man.
Hmm.
They're all about it.
There's 4 more tables. I just can't seem to get on one. Play a blast tournament. Well, we got cash games coming up, so. Somebody just dropped off, so I got all my seats. That's not bad. What's up, Bills? How you doing, man? Kind of just grind mode, trying to focus. So plus I find all I've been doing while I've been talking is getting frustrated, so I'm not gonna bother. But if anybody has questions or whatever, or wants to talk, go right ahead. Most hilarious. Oh, god damn it. Fucking misclick. It's drawing dead and I just fucking misclick for fucking... That's annoying. That's an annoying little setback. That's finally a good flop. Her bet's pretty big, so looks like overpair territory. I think we play the raise, and we don't mind getting it in with the open-ender and flush draw. This is the issue. Better flush draw. That's amazing. Like you can't even have a set? Have a set. That's fine, but beats me with queen high. Just the perfect card comes off on the river. Oh. Make the big bet now. Done this 8 fucking times. Small bet, pot bet. That's why the overbet jam is so good. This kind of player is going to talk himself into calling. The problem is he needs to have a king. And I'm not 100% sure he does. He's exactly the kind of guy who will talk himself into it. I really think he's one of those guys that if he has a king, he calls me all day. But he's been doing this donk lead out, small bet, big bet. And I was thinking I want to start raising this guy for no reason. And that was a great opportunity because it means I would get to show him the virtual nuts the first time I did it, because that's the most likely time to get called. Now that the first one went through, it'll probably work fairly often. And he'll stop doing it, but you see like this limp call, like these little bets are just not, like that's not a little bet, but into so many players it actually is. There's the check raise. Wow, actually called me. It's just on the draw the whole way. Really? I mean, if this something here beats me, I'm just gonna throw up. But go ahead. I mean, no, it's just always a draw. That's why I like jamming too, because eventually they're gonna start calling off very lightly. That's what we do. Every time. Like, and then I see shit like this where it's like, how do you just lose your mind with top pair there? Like, this is a limped pot. It's a limped pot. The guy ends up with top pair, leads out, gets called. Ridiculous to just call. Leads out, gets raised, 5x, jams. On what world is King Queen supposed to be good in that limped pot? It's just hilarious. Glad to see all you guys out here. Not a very chatty bunch, are we? I mean, this... I don't even understand the just call. Like, no protection, and then on the, like, what's your reason for not raising this river? It's a min bet to put it all in. Jesus Christ. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. Short stack. Move these over. There's too much glare. Yeesh. Lots of people here, but I just don't have anything to say. There's just nothing going on. And if nobody's gonna ask any questions, I got nothing to talk about. So I appreciate you guys hanging out, keeping me company, but I guess maybe we'll have something to say when a hand pops off. That 8 on the turn is hilarious. I'm going to try to rep the ace on the river. I mean, without the 8 on the turn, it was possible to barrel, but having second pair on the turn is not great. What am I possibly called with that I just beat right there? Pocket fours. What the How am I getting called by a hand that I win? That is absolute hilarity. That's amazing. I thought for sure he was going to at least show me a 10. Like, a 10's a good call. Because it's like, all right, that kind of makes sense or whatever. And if you don't think I have an ace, then yeah, you can call. But I can have stuff other than an ace that beats a pair of 4s. That's an attitude changer right there. That made me feel kind of good. Sometimes it only takes one pot to make you feel real good and turn around. Maybe that was it. Lucky 7s. It's just hilarious. It's just like bluffing with the best hand. Oh, there's so many times live where it was like get bet at, you know, bet, call, bet, and somebody calls and you go, you got it, and they go, I don't know about that, and you go, what? That was one time I'm thinking of specifically years ago where I had one of those and it was a perfect run out, and I bet it, and I said, well, you got it, I only got a pair of queens, and the guy went, oh, 9s, and there was like a king and an ace on the board, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening here? And it was a huge pot, but I just like, well, you got it, I got queens. And he was like, nope, you got it. It's just like, what? And it's so weird because I honestly have no idea why that happened. Why did I just call this? I meant to raise this. I wasn't thinking. Well, maybe it's good I didn't. I mean, it's a limp pot. I mean, you would think there'd be no kings around, but, I mean, just look at this. What's betting here? And then the call behind, it's just like, I don't get it. And then they check down, and it's just like, oh, now the spade comes off and you just jam. It's like, what were you calling with in the first place? Like, oh my god, it's just, how? King 10 and 4-5. What up, man? Long time no see. You going to start streaming regularly again? I've been back for about 3 months. Back since September about. That's the other thing that's really frustrating for me too, is that all these people, and I got 4,500 followers or 4,300 followers, whatever it is, and I changed the fucking name, and I'm still getting the messages of, oh, you're back, and it's just like, it's very frustrating actually. But there's the name thing. It's like I might have done better just to like start a whole new channel, I was thinking, but it's just like, what's even the point? I imagine it's easier for people to find me now, right? But I guess the alert goes out and nobody knows. It's not a good day to find me, man. I'm not doing good. Thanks, man. I'm just kind of in the grindy feel right now. I've been having a very frustrating past 3 weeks or so. And it makes you feel very hopeless. So I'm glad you're here. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out and, you know, at least keeping me company. But on times like this, it feels like you're just like I'm just like it's morbid, like people are witnessing my demise or something. So I'm just gonna keep grinding. But normally I'd be talking more, but just nothing to say. And everything I say seems to be like, how is this possible or whatever. And so it kind of bums me out, so I don't bother. Or I'm not bothering today. It's just a dumb fucking raise from the blind. Ace on the turn, perfect bluff card. Go ahead and bet. You're a fucking idiot. This guy who likes to lead small at every pot. Calls. Like I said, that was the reason why I jammed that other hand against that guy. Just get him to back off. So he's even making E-calls. Like, look at this. This is every time. See, now Spectrafax realized it too, because I started beating this guy up. Should only be calling. And I love it that the guy actually had two pair. It's hilarious. It's amazing. Anybody raise pre-flop, or are you both just fucking gamblers? So 5x and he just flops it perfect. That's fucking hilarious. Spectrafax did nothing wrong there. And the thing is, if the 7 doesn't come off and the ace does hit, like if it's ace 4 or 5 or whatever, Spectrafax is still gonna get it all. Still gonna get it all. Like that's the crazy part. The guy doesn't need two pair to get it in. He's that crazy. I'm betting into 4 players. And except for a set of deuces, what am I really worried about? Nothing, but somebody's got to have something? No. That card sucks. Because he can have jacks or 10s or something. I don't buy this. Yeah, fuck off. Eat shit. Did not buy it. I'm tired of this fucking river jam bullshit that's fucking just out of nowhere. Think we can bet the turn here. Got all the equities. Deuce on the river's pretty cool. Hopefully he's got an ace. Dumbass. Gonna bet all rivers. Why are you calling the turn? Hey, KYKB, thanks, man. I heard the sub. Much appreciated, bro. You were one of the old subscribers that subscribed after I had finished streaming back in the day, because affiliates couldn't get subs. And then they made it so affiliates could get subs, and people subbed after I stopped streaming, after I quit. So check out the new YouTube, man. There's a lot of great new content on there that I make all the time. That because it's a new YouTube channel, nobody sees, but there's an entire backlog of it. And there's even stuff, you're looking for the stuff called Jedi Mind Tricks. Those are very, very fun and very well edited, if I do say so. Oh, I love that card so much. Bet again. I mean, there's small chances that we're beat here, but this is just ridiculous. That's kind of upsetting. I don't think I can fold just yet. God damn it. God. Really? I like this bet here because if the 5 does come off, it looks like total bullshit. And a lot of times I am going to have an overpair in this scenario. The 8 on the turn and then the quick check is kind of interesting. I may have the only club, so I think I'm going to allow this to come off. River pairs the board. I mean, this doesn't look great for... Oh my god, why am I forced into these scenarios? Like... He's got it. Like, how does he not have it? I mean, does he just have the ace of clubs? Although he check called, the suited ace would do that too. Yeah, the suited ace. I had to see it. It's so frustrating. Channel is one of my favorites. Best wishes and good luck. You got my sub as long as you're doing this. Great value and entertainment. Well, thanks, my man. Check out the new YouTube. It's brand new. like I read that, but it's like, you know what it is with that ace king there? I was like, the suited ace checks and then fucking, you know, bets like this. Like, he just bet it blind. Like, he didn't even care that there was a flush or a full house possible, which is what he's supposed to do. But it's like, I've seen it so many times that it's just really unbelievable to me. So I think I called that one out of statistic. Like, I was on the treadmill yesterday, and I was just kind of... That ace is actually a really good card for me. Because you never have anything. Jesus Christ. Why even attempt that bluff? So, like, yesterday I was on the treadmill. I was telling Courtney about this, and I was just going through... I have pretty good replay in my head of hands that I've played. So I was going through a bunch of hands where it was, like, very low percentage to get beat. And they were all situations where I was like, well... he can have this one combination of cards. So I did the math on it, and I just figured it on the river. So if it was a 2% river or 5% river, whatever, I just went with that. And I did the math in my head, and there was like 5 hands, and the odds of it happening to a person in the number of hands that it happened to me, I approximated at like 500 hands. There were these 5 hands that happened. It was just over 1 billion to 1. And you would think that it would make you feel like better about your efforts because it's such a long shot. But after 3 or 4 weeks of this, it's just made me very punchy. And I really I can't believe it. So I'll end up paying off bets like that. Because even though I know exactly what's going on, I can't believe... And here's the other part that I can't believe about that ace-king hand. The board paired on the river. Right? And I could easily have a set here. And he just bet it. And, like, when that happens to me, when I'm in that scenario, they always have the full house. It's just like... I hate to sound like that guy, but for the past 3 weeks, that's just what it's been. And it doesn't matter how knowledgeable I am or how sure I am or the odds against it and all that kind of shit. It just doesn't matter. I mean, that small bet even pre-flop is just... Like, I'm rewatching it now. Like, his 3-bet pre-flop is not... Like, we went from 55 to 185. Like, that is such the small bet. Like, it's such a small bet. Like, just everything just worked out for the guy, and it's upsetting to me seeing things work out for other people. Like, this guy cold calls this huge open on the button. I mean, how am I supposed to get action here? I even have the ace of hearts. I mean, I guess we just call, right? I mean, hopefully he has a set, right? That's what he's supposed to have. Like, just nothing. And it's like, I'm not going to get a river bet. Oh, it's just so... Players sitting for 2 minutes. It's like they just sit down and they just have to bluff. Ugh. Like, it literally makes my stomach hurt. I was telling Courtney, it's like you just feel like you're cursed after a while. And this is like downer shit, and I don't want to be a fucking downer on stream. But I also said that I would stream 100% of hands that I put into this challenge. And I can't fucking believe we're 31 episodes into this, which actually that's like 31 sessions, so it's like it's less days than that, but it's 31 sessions. And I can't believe that I didn't complete the challenge yet. Like it's just been so really very difficult. And not difficult because of the players I'm playing against, difficult because of the deck. Which is the most unsettling thing to a poker player in the world, because you exhibit so much control over the statistics, and then the deck just comes around and just takes it all away. And this shit's just bummer shit. Like, I don't want to be this guy. I want to be upbeat and happy and, you know, showing you guys how great things are, but it's like all I've been able to post is just unbelievable massacre of what statistical probability is. I got a bluff catcher. Didn't even have a pair, right? Did you even have a pair? Sevens. And why don't you bet the flop? Like, you let these things happen. It's just so aggravating that I have to draw out on people. So this is an under the gun raise and my under the gun 3-bet. Or my under the gun +1 3-bet. Christ, that worked. Jesus. Well, we got another table. It's like exactly the player I want to raise. And the min raise just works. And this 3-bet player just sat down. It's either super strong or super weak. He checks. I'm going to check the river. Sometimes I lose to ace king here, but other times I do win it. Oh my god. Like, and it's like it's the one hand that I should be betting against, but I absolutely cannot. Aces. Like, I mean, these people are just hilarious. Things are aggravating, Doubt. Like, I'm at the point where I just have to play through, but I'm amazed at how many times I'm just getting cold decked. So I'm fairly upset, and I'm just basically holding it together and surprising myself with how closely I'm sticking to GTO, because pretty sure I'd be tilting my face off if this was even a year ago. Other than that, I'm alright. Other than that, but like 90% of my self-worth is tied up in how well I do. So. This guy opens on the button. The dude just jammed 100 blinds in with ace jack suited. Like that's hilarious. Like, I don't know what's calling you there that you're happy about it. Perfect player to have this potential against. Oh, thank God. Of course, the river comes off king, totally killing any action. I love how he just paid it off. Who makes that move? King, queen. Like, what do you beat here, bro? What do you possibly beat? Ugh. Try to look on the upside that you're still way ahead in the challenge. I appreciate that. But I'm not. It's very hard to not be negative. Because I know what you're saying. But it's... It reminds me of that scene in Casino where the guy... Where they mess with the guy's plane and they get the player to come back in and... You know, they say, oh, he starts out betting small, but he doesn't see it as winning 5,000. He sees it as losing 90,000. Like, when I'm not winning, I feel like I'm losing. Like, breaking even is a loss. It's not... Like, I get what you're saying, and you're right. You're right. You're not wrong. Like, I'm playing them on their money and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it's like I should be over the 1,000 now and playing higher levels and going for the 1,000 to 10,000 challenge. And it's just been a very brutal time. Well, that's a pretty good flop. I mean, it's a three-way pot. I got to imagine somebody might have something. Like a jack or something. Hopefully this guy's trapping jacks. That would be awesome. I mean, the 7 comes out. I mean, I got to bet something, right? Like, no, there's just nothing there. Taking the challenger over at ACR. No, I hate the cash games on ACR. Honestly, like, it's very hard to describe. I honestly don't even know why, but cash on ACR is just very frustrating for me. Not frustrating, but like, I'm gonna check this. Like, just call down. Like, that's the thing. Like, stuff like this boggles my mind because I'm sitting there and I'm going, surely this guy didn't draw for a flush for as much as I charged him, but he absolutely did. Just check call, and then it's like, well, there's no reason to bet on the river, so... Like, see, I'm not drawing to that straight there. Just because I know if an ace comes off, I could just be beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I make my hand, I might just be drawing dead. But... Now, ACR cash games, it's... I honestly can't even explain why. I don't think the players are... Like, here's the problem. I'm sitting in a fishbowl where the players are absolute garbage, but I can't win. And here's the thing. If you think you're a good player and you're playing on WSOP and you're like, oh, I'm the best player here, you're garbage. You're an actual trash player. Like... I'm embarrassed to play on this fucking site, but the games are so goddamn good, it's ridiculous. Like, this is a 3-bet pot, and I just flopped a flush. And this guy bets the full pot. And he calls. I mean, we just play it like jokers, right? Oh, that was easy. Nice 3-bet with 10-7. 3 bets 10-7 flops the flush. Like, this is the kind of shit I'm up against. Which is like, you're like, oh, it's a dream scenario. Yeah, it's a dream scenario if you can hit a fucking hand. I thought about doing the cash on ACR, and you know what? Like, I've done well in the blitz poker, the 10-0 blitz poker, but also the fact that I play tournaments on ACR, and I wanted to be able to do like this with the balance, you know? Can't really do that on ACR because it's like my tournament money's there, and it would just get very complicated. I don't know. But I guess I could. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just try to do a blitz challenge. And it's also the kind of thing, like, when you do a challenge, people kind of want to be able to follow it and track it the whole way. Okay, so... I think this is a good candidate just for a call. So like if I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, in this challenge I'm plus this or whatever, I guess I could just make a spreadsheet, right? Like, just keep track of it. That's an idea. It's the ace. It's not the flush. It's the ace. Yeah. How do you bet small on that flop? Oh my god. So bad. The ace like saved me. But it also saved him because I'm betting like the ace and then the 10. Like I'm it's very bluffable. And the crazy part is when I have the 10, I know I can get the whole stack. Like it's it's just very frustrating. So maybe I can incorporate ACR into the cash challenge. Possible. Problem is I don't like playing ACR and WSOP at the same time because the players on ACR are much more educated players. You know, there's still money to be made, but they don't do shit like 3-bet 10-7 on the button and then just go ballistic in a 3-way pot with a baby flush. Like, they just don't do it. The amount of times I've seen people on this site, and here's the thing, this isn't some new like cash game technique, this isn't some whatever. You don't even see this shit in tournaments until you get down to like the cash bubble or the final table or something like that, where people are 3-betting decent good hands on the button. It's a throw-off technique that you do like when you're trying to steal pre-flop, but nothing steals pre-flop. So these people are playing cash games like they're tournaments. Like you're seeing raises to 2.5x, which is like what? And then you're seeing 3-bets to 2.4x or 2.5x, and it's just like, it's like this is not, it's not a cash game thing, but they're bringing over this tournament knowledge that they don't even really have. You know what I mean? And it's like the 10-7 3-bet on the button when the cutoff opens and you 3-bet 10-7, get cold called twice, and then just go ballistic when you have the baby flush. It's like, you are beat, sir. This is a cash game. Microstake can be very swingy. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're right because of variance, but this is beyond swingy. Like, and here's the thing, I know that shit. Like, I know exactly how it can be. And I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm just saying I'm really experiencing a very huge statistical anomaly, and it's really upsetting me because this is like the first time in my life that I've had the support of my family, you know, because of Corona, and they don't, you know, I don't have any fucking skills, and pandemic took fucking everything. So like when the help got cut off from the government, like I was covering the rest of our bills playing poker pretty much, but when that went away, I had to get help from my dad. And it's like, for the first time in my life, he like admitted, he's like, you've paid more bills playing poker than you have with any other job. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, and he actually said he was sorry and he should have helped me years ago when just disasters happen, like your house fucking burns down. You know, I mean, imagine that. You build up a bankroll, right? Imagine this scenario. You build up a bankroll. You get engaged, and you know you're playing cash games primarily online and improving your life through tournaments. And then one day, the guy above you falls asleep with a cigarette because he's a fucking pill popper and burns your fucking apartment down. And you lose everything. There's no option to say, I'm not going to spend my bankroll money because I need to protect my bankroll. You don't get that option. You have to buy food. Protect your bankroll all you want, but if you can't eat, you can't eat the money, you know? And it's like, at that time, it's like, my dad didn't, he just thought it was whatever. And the crazy part is, his mother taught me how to play poker. And she was a killer. I mean, she paid her way through college playing poker in the fucking 30s as a Jewish woman. She was a killer. She was an absolute killer. And but she like instilled this disdain of gambling in her children. You know, I was playing 25 Zoom, but went through a huge downswing to September. I'm rebuilding now at 16 Zoom. Like, this is just... Is this ever anything but a flush? Nope. I mean, I'm making good folds, but it's like, what can I do? Playing, rebuilding now, playing 16 Zoom. They have 16 Zoom? Oh, that's Poker Stars, right? Yeah, I think they call it, what do they call it? Blitz on ACR. I think it goes 2NL, 10NL. It might go right to 50. I'm not sure. No, I think there's a 25 in there. But yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe that is a good idea. Maybe, I mean, if I'm giving the tournaments a rest anyway, why not incorporate some ACR sessions to the cash games? Maybe that's a good idea, my man. I'll have to think about it. But yeah. Maybe it's a good idea. Hungry. Like, I just flopped the nuts straight there. Right? Yeah, the 10-7 is definitely not a 3-bet on the button versus any positions. Exactly. Like, and that's the thing. It's basic poker knowledge. It's basic. Where you're sitting there going, oh, I have 10-7 suited on the button. That's a nice hand. You know what? I should just call this because I want to see the flop. No, this guy 3-bets and opens himself. Like, now it goes back to the hijack and the hijack 4-bets. Are you still calling? Like, this is basic poker knowledge. Like, this is like, you don't 3-bet those hands. Well, I mean, I know he can't fold once he flops the flush, but the fact that he jammed all the money in, that's the part that's really sus, because when he's getting called for such big bets, somewhere in your head, you've got to think. Like, the bets he's making are only called by hands that beat him. Like, unless it's a set, he's pretty much never getting drawn at there. You know what I mean? And he had the 5th nut. Look at this. I doubt I'm getting action. But there could be a king in here sometimes. Now the 6 on the river. Look at it. I mean, like, I can't bet. Like, that's so frustrating. Like, it's just an action killer. Ace King. Oh, my God. Ace King in the small blind. No 3-bet pre-flop. No bet. This guy checks. I bet the turn. He doesn't raise. Like, why are you protected for playing like a moron? How? Like, how do you not 3-bet pre... Like, if he 3-bets pre-flop, yes, we both call. But then he bets the flop and takes it down. And if he checks and I hit the 8, then he gets all the money. And, like, there's no positive scenario for me there. I can't believe he just called the turn bet. And then he doesn't bet the river? Like, am I supposed to overbet that river because it looks like bullshit? I guess. But, like, there's $2 in the pot. Like, what am I supposed to do? Make it fucking 9? House burned down. I think I tell it. But, yeah, the guy upstairs, not God, but the literal dude who lived upstairs, we didn't even know that he lived up there at the time. We thought the place was vacant because we never saw any movement or heard anybody go in and out. It looked like there was a bed up against a window, but we were like, maybe they're using this apartment for storage. Like, I don't know. But yeah, he was a pill popper. Oh, God, the thing that still pisses me off to this day. I'm sitting there, just all my belongings. Now, here's the thing. The fire went off. We were the first to wake up. Did I not have insurance? Fun fact, renter's insurance only covers your liability when it's provided by the apartment complex. We did not know this at the time. We were getting charged renter's insurance. We thought it covered our belongings. No. What renter's insurance provided by your apartment complex covers is if the fire was your fault, then you don't have to pay for the building's repair, right? So like, let's say I had, too many things plugged in and I caused a fire, right? My renter's insurance goes to pay for the deductible to have the apartment complex or the apartment building fixed, right? My personal belongings, I need to have my own renter's insurance. We did not know this at the time. And it's funny because when I learned this, everybody that I talked to said, that's not right. And I explained to them that fact and they went, oh my God. And like 5 people that I talked to went and checked, same way at their apartment complex. They thought they were covered. You know how much insurance is, renter's insurance is for your private belongings? That would have kept my life from getting completely uprooted. Do you want to know how much I get charged now? And I have full coverage for everything. Way more than I need. $7 a month. $7. ACR has 25 blitz, but I don't think it runs. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It doesn't run. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like, being in the States, like, and here's the thing, it's not hard if you have proper bankroll. It's really not. Like, if I had even just $3,000, which should be the minimum, then I wouldn't have any problem because there would be enough liquidity in games that I could always have enough volume. The problem is I don't have that, so therefore I can't play at many different levels, so I have to play when this shit goes off. But yeah, the thing that really pissed me off was I'm sitting there and I'm watching my place just destroyed. And this woman comes up and she goes, oh, what happened to what's his name upstairs? And I went, well, the fireman said that somebody fell asleep with a cigarette and he's dead. And the woman said, oh God, I've come, apparently she was some kind of church person or something like that, and he had like a pill addiction and he had back problems and everything else. So she said, oh God, yeah, I've walked in on him to check on him and he's fallen asleep on that couch with a cigarette, with the cigarette burning a hole through the couch. And I'm like, and she's just like, what? And I'm like, you realize that's my apartment right there. That's everything I own right there. She goes, yeah. And I go, and you knew that this fucking pill popper, and she goes, he wasn't a pill popper. I'm like, he was a drug addict. You're telling me he's a drug addict. This piece of shit drug addict fell asleep with cigarettes on the couch, and you didn't see any reason to get him any kind of fucking help. You just sat here and brought him groceries and fucking made it easier for him to be a drug addict. That's what you're fucking telling me? And she was like, well, he's this, that, and the other. And I went, you're a fucking piece of shit and get the fuck away from me. Like, I had just lost everything and she was trying to justify this to me. Like, in the end, I closed doors. This is something that came back from being in middle school and having fire safety drills. They said that what you do is you run around your house and you check the rooms, right? And then as the rooms are empty, you close the doors so that you know that there's nobody left in that room. And the firemen know that that's the signal that the room is empty, right? So they don't go sending anybody into a fire, opening a door, taking that risk, right? So Courtney got the dogs out and I was, running around, and I literally checked all the rooms and stuck my head in. There wasn't time to get my computer, but I closed our bedroom door. All of our clothes got smoke damage, our bed, everything and all like that. But because I closed the door, the computer was salvageable. Our computer and a little bit of clothes. That's it. Even our pots and pans. You would think things like pots and pans
wouldn't burn or whatever like that, and they didn't get touched by fire, but they got smoke poisoning. And the fire chief said, "Look, you got to throw all that away." And I was like, "Why? They're metal." And he was like, "Dude," and he said, "We take one outside," and he like waves it around, and he goes, "Okay, do you smell smoke?" And like right now, as we're outside, and I go, "No," and he goes, "Smell this pan," and I smell it, and the pan, it reeked of the char smoke, and I go, "Oh my god!" And he goes, "Yeah, you can't wash that off." He's like, "That's a toxic residue now that is now in your pan." He's like, "Every time you heat it up, it's gonna reactivate that, and if you eat that shit, you know, you can get fucking very sick." He's like, "You can actually get cancer, but," he's like, most likely you'll just get like a crazy ulcer in your stomach from like metal shavings, and like he's like, "You have to throw all this away. Glass, nothing is safe." It was fucking bananas. Yeah. And when that happened, I like talked to my dad, and it was like, "Well, I got bankroll, I got this." I said, "But I might need some help," and he was, yeah, no help there. But that's the thing, and it's like he's helping me for the first time in my life, understanding that I'm playing poker, you know, as a means of whatever. And it's like to fail at that first endorsement is really crazy. Yeah, it really isn't right. And it's something that I learned the very hard way. I will say, during the fire, the thing that kind of restored my faith in humanity was the fireman said, "What you got to do is contact the Red Cross." And I didn't understand what he meant. He's like, "Trust me." And he gives me the number and all like that. And he gives me the incident code, which was like, this fire has a number, right? And I called the Red Cross, and they gave us I think they gave us like $400 or $500. Okay, I'm not putting up with this button raise. I raised under the gun. Oh my god. And it's like there's so many other players that I wouldn't even entertain jamming there, especially for a bigger than min stack. But it's like sick thing is you'll be really unlucky if it happens again. Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm insuring something that more than likely will never happen. Like if you get car insurance, right? Like anything can happen to your car. Like everybody, I think everybody at some point in their life is gonna make a car insurance claim, right? Like God, this is so frustrating because like look at this. Like I make it 35. It's call. This is a standard like button raise. Like, and he's just got the 1% hand. He's just got the 1% hand. Like that's so frustrating. Like to be and then running into that over and over and over. It's just so aggravating. Yeah, like I think everybody in their life is gonna make a car insurance claim, right? Like my brother made a car insurance claim when they had a hailstorm in Colorado, and everybody's car on the block just looked like golf balls. Like their cars looked like golf balls because there were just all these divots in them. So he made a car insurance claim, and it was a very standard thing, and got his car fixed. And I've had accidents and made insurance claims and things like that, but you don't really ever expect to make a renter's insurance claim. And boy howdy do you need it. Like, because if you have a break-in, right, like that's usually what most renter insurance claims are, is a break-in. Like then it's like you're replacing some luxuries, you know what I'm saying? You're replacing your TV. It's like nobody's like losing, unless you don't keep your money in a fucking bank, you're a fucking idiot. Like I've heard stories of like poker players who got robbed and used their renter's insurance to recoup, and they had massive amounts of money. This one I'm thinking of, he was renting a Airbnb, and he was renting it for the entire summer during the World Series. This is years ago. And he basically what he did was he had a strong box in a safe. So what he did was he took pictures every day with the timestamp of what was in the strong box and inside the safe, and then he would, that was his documentation. Well, he did get robbed, and they took the strong box, and he claimed exactly what was on the picture. And the insurance company tried to say, well, why did you have $40,000 in this thing? And he says, well, I'm a poker player. I'm playing the World Series. This is blah, 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 blah. He got paid out in like a week. And the renter's insurance that he took that followed him to the Airbnb was like, I think it was like $9 a month or something like that, he told me. He said it's the best free roll he's ever had. He says he'll pay for renter's insurance for the rest of his life now. I was like, that's crazy. But that's the thing, like, it's a luxury. Like, he didn't get wiped out, like, because it's a very big difference when you burn somebody's fucking bed, All right, I'm just gonna bet. I mean, this is a 5-way pot. Why is there an ace on the goddamn turn? Should he have more aces or more sets, or... I can't take it. I'm going. Jesus, like... Ace King. That's a good payoff. I got my money back from those aces. Like the ace on the turn, like... And I don't know what... Like, that's the other thing, too. Like, I don't know what this player was like... He just cold called me, and then what? Made a pair of eights, and thinks it's good when I bet the flop like this. Like, even if you have 8-7, you're supposed to keep calling there. Like, if you're gonna call, like, it's so frustrating. It's because I know too much about what should be going on that I'm fucking myself. I'm gonna check and see if I can get him to bluff. Fuck. I swear to God, if another guy shows me another fucking flush draw, pocket eights, like, why are you calling the flop? Like, what are you doing? Like, and here's the thing, like, yes, I won the pot, I'm happy, but I'm fucking amazed that I'm not up against the scenario where the player will bluff against me, but he would have absolutely called the jam on the river. How am I? That's unlucky to be in that scenario. Like, how is that what's happening? Why does he get a showdown? It's super frustrating. What is taking you so long? You don't know what you're doing. Just fold. Appreciate you getting me to talk, man. Because when I'm like this, it's very easy for me to just turn inward. It gets very toxic. But yeah, you know, just general life things. You know, the fire wasn't the only thing. I mean, everybody got hit by the pandemic. But what was I doing during the pandemic? Here's what I was doing, right? I was driving, supporting my household, driving about 50 hours a week, doing Uber. Then one day, the world turned off. And it was over. What was I gonna do? And I actually found a way to make money. I had like $30 in my ACR account and started playing a few tournaments and got a win really quick. And that carried us through the pandemic. Oh my God. There's a streamer that I really like. And he's having a subathon. He's got COVID. So he's quarantined. Wow. Wow. How many are you up to? Wow. Up to 208 subs. Wow. That's crazy in like an hour. Or not an hour, but like in 3 hours. Going for 1,000 subs. Calling it the Sickathon. It's like, I can't even bet this. Because like, yeah, like you're just an idiot. Like, he controlled the size of the pot and would have totally paid me off. Like, there's no... like, just the worst, man. That's great. Elix is the streamer. Good for her. Him. Actually, I don't know. Drag queen. I don't know the gender, though. Guess it doesn't matter. But that's really fascinating. 208 subs. Wow. And just looks like death. But what else are you gonna do? Like, she plays Dead by Daylight, right? The video game. Usually in full drag. No drag today. But just sitting there playing video games like a fucking warrior with nothing else to do, just suffering through Omicron. That's crazy. Lots of people here. I really appreciate you guys coming out, man. You really make me feel better. Like, half hour ago or 45 minutes ago, I was like, man, I should just wrap this up. Nobody's watching anyway. And then I checked out the stream and, you know, there's 10, 12 people here. So it's keeping me going. Such a grind. The worst one today was the misclick. And you guys ever notice how many on Twitch, how many fucking review fucking, like, or not review, but rerun fucking poker channels there are? Like, that's crazy, bro. Man, if I could speak Spanish, I would be doing much better. Lex is the king, of course. He's crushing. go way down the list. Hey, there I am. That's not too far down. Yeah, if you guys want to do anything for me, man, like the subs and donations, don't get me wrong, I do definitely appreciate them. They're amazing. But if you want to do something for me, spread the word to everybody that follows me, because there's tons of people that follow me that don't know that it's me. Spread the word that I'm back. Was Uber taxing making you good money? Uber made enough money. It was hard. But I really did love it. I actually always said that if I were, well off or whatever, I would still want to drive Uber. If we lived in Vegas, I would still want to drive Uber 1 or 2 nights a week, just to like I would get like a nice car and then just pay, just use the Uber to pay for the car and the insurance. Just working 1 or 2 days a week, because I really loved it. I really loved driving Uber. It was hard and there was some bullshit to it, but honestly, it was more fun than anything. You'd meet people from all over the world, and you'd get to talk to them. You get to tell them about the town. I always knew everything that was going on all the time. I always knew everything that was going on all the fucking time. Why didn't I raise this flop? Why did I not raise that flop? What am I doing? Oh my god. No, but Uber was a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people, had a lot of great stories. Had crazy experiences nobody ever would have. You're driving an Uber in Las Vegas, right? Crazy experience. And even stuff like the October 1 shooting. I was out driving when that happened, and drove people away all night long. It's a crazy experience. Met famous people. Met Marie from Donnie Marie. Met Mike Tyson. Met Louis Anderson. A bunch of people. Met the guy who owns what was the dispensary? One of the dispensaries out here, Relief, and he had a backpack full of weed, full. It must have been 2 or 3 pounds of weed. It was the most weed I've ever seen in my life. And he was going to a club to give it away like a business card, he said. He's like, yeah, I have to destroy it or distribute it. So he's like, I can give it to charity, which is people at the club right now. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And he was a cool guy. I don't know what this guy's thinking about. He has an ace and he's sitting there thinking, what the fuck, bro? I follow a few poker players on Twitch. I have been clicking on your stream the most the last few days. Nice, Blades. I appreciate it, my man. Definitely appreciate it. Do I track my results on a spreadsheet? I track my results by my account. I used to track results on a spreadsheet when I didn't know how I was doing in each individual game. But after a while, you kind of understand your win rate. So I don't do that anymore. I used to, though. I used to write down, every table, every session, every limit I would play, every style of tournament I would play, every tournament structure, all those kind of things. But after a while, you kind of understand what tournaments are good for you and what formats are good for you. So you don't really need to anymore. So you would just track it by your bank account. It's just like, because when I used to do it full time, when it was actually paying the fucking bills. What is this bullshit? I'm not even gonna bother. It's annoying. What was I gonna say? Oh, when you play for a living, like I wouldn't look at my balance until like 3 or 4 weeks into the month, and then I would usually make my withdrawal. Like I would just do, no, I would probably do 2 withdrawals a month, to pay my bills and shit, and then just decide what was proper to leave for bankroll and what I never wanted to keep much on the site, like just because Black Friday has me gun shy for a lifetime. Like once you have everything wiped out by the government, you kind of don't want to keep too much online. Some guys I know, like Jonathan Little's advice, he says keep only enough online for 1 day of play. Now he's talking about playing at big levels when you have like a real life bankroll of like $100,000. In a day you're gonna need 5 or 10 grand on there, for the stakes he's playing. So his bankroll's probably $1 million, honestly. But yeah, he would have to have like, you would see it when he would play live. He would do those sessions. He'd be playing 16 tournaments at once, everything from $100 up. Just everything from $100 up, no matter what the biggest buy-in was. And he would have to have like 20,000 online to make all his entries. But he would do it every week, where he would put it on and then take it off, and he would trade with people and get it off through other sources and on through other sources and shit like that. But like for me, it was just like I would keep on enough to generally play. Like if I had a dude, if you got it, you got it. Diamond, please. Good. He fucking raised so small pre-flop that I almost just put him in. But then to be doing this bullshit, you deserve to fucking lose. Like you don't have... That's the thing that kills me. He thinks he's a good trapper. He's not. I stopped driving for him because everything got shut down when the pandemic happened. And then it's just... If you don't know how Vegas is going, you should look it up. Because it's not going well out here. Because we have so much tourist action and all that shit. We're definitely like a uber hot, or a major hotspot in the country for Corona. It took a pandemic for my father to decide to help me. Yeah, the taxis kept running. Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the UK, And I'm sure taxi drivers suffered, but the UK also had rules and like serious mask mandates and social distancing things and all like that. Like the UK got Corona under control. Here's the thing, even if you say they did it horribly, they did it much better than the US. Can you fucking imagine that? The US, the leading, like, the richest country in the world, and we can't get a handle on this shit. Like, we're almost 2 years into this. It'll be 2 years in a month that since the lockdowns initially happened and we ended up with Corona. Well, this is a suck-ass scenario, but nobody's got enough money to make me fold. So we're just going to get the money in probably. If this player jams, it's like he can have 10s, he can have 7s, he can have 8s, he can have 9s, he can have 6s. He can have a lot of things. But I'm not folding just because I've seen these players do the dumbest shit in the world. Like, he's calling, and it's just like, whatever. Okay, fine. The money's in. 10-8. Hilarious. Like, this is why you can't stop betting. Like, you see this, right? Gut shot, second pair, called this monstrous raise pre-flop, and then just decided, I'm going broke. I don't know about this. That one I'm letting go. My God, I'm ahead for the day. Yeah, that's the thing, though. The black cabs in UK have strong unions. They have strong medical benefits. Is it too personal to ask how much you make? Playing poker? Now? Now I'm broke, man. Like, playing full-time with a proper bankroll, my expectation... Let's see. Well, I'll just go back to what it was when I played full-time. I was playing cash games on this site, WSOP. I was playing anywhere from 10 NL up to 100 NL. Usually playing mostly cash games, and I played some tournaments on here. My tournament revenue a month, I think, was somewhere around... probably around 3,000 or 4,000, because I wouldn't play many tournaments, but I would pick up a few here and there, you know. So it was probably closer to 2,000 than 3,000, you know, whatever. But my cash game revenue was about 2,500 to 3,000 a month, and that was enough to pay my rent and take care of my wife and my dogs and everything else. So it was about $5,000 a month, which doesn't sound like much, but here's the thing. That was a building process, and I got to that $5,000 and then stayed there for a few months as I was trying to, like, build bankroll and build bankroll and build bankroll, because I always found the smarter thing to do rather than incrementally, like, move up was to be like, okay, I need this much money to comfortably play at this stake. So I'm just going to win that much till I get there, and then boom, I'm playing this stake. And I'm also playing the stakes below it. But instead of, like, incrementally going up, like, well, I increased my bankroll by 10%, so my average buy-in should go up 10%. I never did that. I found that to be, it works for a lot of people, but I found it to be way too much paperwork, and it got too confusing. I'd rather just look at what's out there and be like, okay, today when I sit down, I have this bankroll, so I'll be playing these limits and these tournaments. You know what I mean? Oh, what's the old goddamn? The 10-8? I don't know what you just saw. Or you probably just saw the ace-queen, right? The ace-queen where it came off runners. That's probably what you just watched. Oh, it gets better. Yeah, these queens are better. But yeah, so probably about between, I would say probably between $4,000 and $7,000 a month, somewhere in there. And the idea was that I was going to build up. And I had, so my total, like, net worth at the time of the fire was something like I probably had if you said to me you needed $10,000 or somebody was going to slit your throat, I could probably pull together that and have like a grand left over. So I probably had about 11 or 12 grand to my name, and then the fire happened and I had zero, and it's just whatever. Might have something to do with our diaper-wearing president. Yeah. I don't know, man. Trump was through the pandemic, and that was a fucking shit show. Yeah, they did really suffer, but drivers that I spoke to said that their firms had drastically reduced their weekly rent. Exactly. Like, they made compensation. You know what I'm saying? They cut their costs. You know, they did shit like that. Like, the black cabs have been around for over 100 years. They're like amazingly unionized, and so much so to the point that when Uber went to the UK, they were like smashing windshields. There was a Uber driver from the UK that came to Vegas for a vacation, and I picked him up and drove him from the airport. And he says, "So how is it here?" And I told him, and he asked me, "Do you have any stories about cab drivers giving you shit?" And I did. I had a story where I had gotten into a fight with cab drivers. It wasn't much of a fight. They were nothing, but anyway, he told me, he's like, "Oh, did you get your windshield done?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Oh, you know, you get a brick on." And I was like, "I don't understand." He says apparently what happened is that in the UK, the black cabs were so territorial that they carried hammers in their cars, and if they saw the Uber sticker, or they saw somebody like on their phone on the Uber thing in the back seat of your car, they would get out at a red light and break your fucking windshield. And it happened so much that he had it happen to him twice. And he says he called Uber, he sent him a picture, and they, within 20 minutes, they said, "Here's a garage near you. They're going to replace your windshield for this much. Here's the cost of the windshield." Uber would just compensate them immediately. It was like when somebody throws up in our car in Vegas and they just give you the cleaning fee. Like, and you would just drive it right there, and they would just get their glass replaced and go right back out. He said it happened so much, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude." I was like, "Did you ever, like, get in a thing?" And he's like, "Well, there's no guns in the UK. So what are you going to do? You're going to get out with your own hammer and have a hammer fight with a guy?" He's like, "No, you just let him break it and and then just fucking walk away." I was like, "Wow." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't imagine Americans would take that very well." And I was like, "Yeah, you'd get shot. Like pretty quickly." Look at this flop. He limped and I raised him pre-flop. So he bet the full pot, so I'm betting the full pot. Yeah, he doesn't have anything, but occasionally he has a deuce. Yeah, I don't care much about politics, man. I've never voted. I don't vote. I just don't think it's productive. The lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. So, I choose not to. If the voting was like it was in like Australia or UK or something like that, or not UK, but in Australia or a couple other places I've heard, like where they like you rank your vote, like there'll be 5 candidates, and you go, "I want this guy as 1, 2, 3. This is my first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, fifth choice." They then average them out and take the guy who got the best score. That's the best fucking voting thing I've ever heard. We get a choice between 2 fucking assholes who are usually carbon copies of each other, sociopaths who've been trying to be president their whole lives, or a fucking reality show host who's been a scumbag since the fucking 60s. You know? The amount of lawsuits that Donald Trump lost where it was proven that he was discriminating and not renting to black tenants, Jewish tenants too, by the way, should have disqualified him from being president immediately. Like, you can't have that many criminal judgments against you. They were civil judgments, but it was in a criminal case that got disproved because he fucking paid off lawyers. Look it up, kids. But yeah. But president doesn't do shit for me. I've never had a president that it was like... Trump was the first one that I think affected my life. Because the crap that he did was just so fucking insane, and he actually changed the landscape of fucking America. But... the goddamn was the guy with pocket aces? Yeah, I figured. It was ridiculous. The guy had fucking like 450 on the table. He had like 45 blinds and he's playing the trap. It's like I should have just put him in pre-flop with the ace queen. But for some reason I took the flop, hit it hard, and then he checked and min raised me. And it's like, all right, the money's going in, dude. If you have ace king or better, you win. And he just rolls aces. And I love that I got the running diamonds on him. Fuck him. What the fuck's going on here? Did you start playing cash after Canada? I recall seeing you playing the odd Zoom game, but not really, but it was mostly tourneys. Yeah, I played cash before Canada and then transitioned to tournaments right as we were leaving because the tournaments were much more profitable and I had a bankroll heading into Canada. So yeah, I didn't play much cash. Because here's the other thing too, playing on PokerStars, playing for cash, wasn't worth it for me. It's kind of the same thing with ACR. It's just kind of not worth it because the tournaments are so much more lucrative. So, you know, that's really where I became a full-time tournament player. And I guess if you want to talk about in those terms, how much I made playing tournaments, I usually cashed out somewhere around... I think my lowest month was like $8,000. I can't be 100% certain. That's years ago. I don't have those records, but I don't remember winning less than $8,000 at the time. And I never really spent anything, you know. I just kind of built bankroll and built bankroll and built bankroll, you know. And then shit happened and life fucked me. But yeah, tournaments were always more lucrative. I will say, in Canada, woo, I had one of my worst tournament runs ever in Canada. I only final tabled, like, in 6 months, I think I final tabled, like, 5 tournaments, and I had, like, 1 top 3 finish. Like, it was brutal. And I'm only counting the MTTs. I'm not counting the, you know, the 180-man tournaments. Those I did very well in. Those kind of kept me from losing money. But, man, like, and it was always the same story. It was like pocket aces, get it all in, lose to kings. It was like, it was hilarious. I actually, like, I wanted to make a supercut of it, but I didn't know how to edit at the time. I wish I'd made a supercut because it was like 40 times. It was fucking bananas. Yeah, Uber has a lot of bad reports in the UK. Yeah, a lot of, well, because the way the market changed, like, when it got rougher on Uber drivers, people with less options started driving. You know what I'm saying? So, like, out here, you know, your average housewife, you know, or soccer mom, you know, or I know lawyers that drive Uber, you know what I'm saying? Because they need extra money, you know? I know one guy, or I knew one guy, who, I'm going to check this, who, he actually owned, he was the head guy at a law firm. And look at that card. You didn't bet enough. Did you have anything? I didn't think you had anything. Pocket nines and you're betting like that? You're a punk. He wouldn't have paid me if I raised on the Trip River. Never used one due to it with overcharging. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. They had to raise rates, but also you end up with, if you're in a rough situation like that where, you're getting attacked or, having whatever problems because of, the market, then you're going to attract people who are rougher. Like, I was saying that I knew a guy who actually was the head dude at a law firm making millions. And I went up to him because he was in the Uber lot. And I was like, why are you driving an Audi, a brand new Audi SUV doing Uber? And he was like, I like this car. He's like, it's an exorbitant expense. The insurance is crazy. If I do Uber XL, the premier ride, he's like, I can pay for this car in about 10 hours of work a week. Or what do you say, like 10 hours work a month or something like that. Like those guys made insane money. And I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. So what do you do full time? I was like, are you retired? And he's like, no, I own this law firm. And I was like, what? And I looked it up. He wasn't lying. I was thinking, dude, you're a millionaire. Why don't you just buy the car? But he couldn't bring himself to do it, I think you can do for the California governor something like that because there are more than two people. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, is that you would create a system where there would be more than two people. You know what I'm saying? He isn't a good person, but he was good for the economy. Who? People say things like good for the economy. What does that even mean? What does that mean? And I don't know how good somebody can be for the economy during a pandemic. Like, I don't understand. I've always heard that, this person's good for the economy, bad for the economy. Like, who was good for the economy? Bill Clinton. Say what you want about him, but the largest economic rise in something like 35, 40 years or something like that. And it did affect the common man, where prices went down and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Gas prices were low and unemployment was low and stuff like that. But the normal thing that's good for the economy that politicians do is they cut taxes on businesses and rich folk. And it's like, you want to be good for the economy? Tax the fuck out of the rich. People are resource hoarding. And it's creating poverty. So good for the economy doesn't do anything for me. I vote for multiple people ranked. That's what I meant for governor. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. You guys really cheered me up, man. I just raised this guy the last hand with aces. Now I have ace king. Like, he just raised in first or in second, and I raised him in third, and he's raising in first, and I raised him in second. I kind of don't mind if one of these guys jams. I kind of like it, actually. Yeah, but you guys really cheered me up, man. I needed the conversation. I was just sitting here, like, just moping. Like, grinding out and doing math in my head and not saying a fucking word. So, I really appreciate you guys. And I don't think I can bet here. I also don't think I can fold. I guess we just check call, right? Sixes? Good bet. It's a really good bet. A lot of people don't make that bet. And he made it quick, and he made it a good size. A lot of people do not make that bet, especially on this site. I am hungry. I think we can bet here. Once the blinds fold, I think it's okay. So that call and then the 10 coming off is kind of weird. So I'm going to check. There's a lot of times we're up against a better jack here. Wow. That's why I didn't bet the turn, is because the ace-queen gut shot, I mean, he was the original raiser. I'm surprised. I would have bet if I was him on the end. I mean, I'm calling it, but I think you're supposed to bet that. I'm not sure. Could go for Chipotle. Player specific read. Wasn't even a read, it was just a statistical thing. I think I'm going to go pee. I think I'm going to go pee and I'll play the Jedi Mind Trick for you guys. So I raised this one and this player re-raised. I want to see what happens here. He checks and of course a queen comes off. That's awful. I mean, he could... Well, that's enough of that. I'm at least beat by a queen. Yeah, you got it, man. I'm going to play, not the latest one. I'll play that when I get back. I need something a little longer than that. But I'll play the Jedi Mind Trick for you guys. Hang on, if I can find it. Is it number 12? I think it's number 12. Yeah.
Good. Now it's just a question of reassembling the components in the correct sequence.
Very rough with deuces. Because we need to flop a set.
I cross the room to the intrinsic field center.
Need a deuce. Blue deuce.
I find my watch. When I get to the door, Wally is turning white.
The program's locked in. We can't override the time lock.
I am terrified.
Deuces. Give me that blue deuce.
I'm sorry, John.
Well, there's definitely some action here, so blue deuce.
But I can't.
Hey, don't leave me! Don't leave me!
I feel fear for the last time.
I called it. Look at that blue deuce.
A circulatory system is seen by the perimeter fence.
Third time called for the blue deuce.
A few days later, a partially muscled skeleton stands in the hallway and screams for a moment before vanishing.
Give me that blue deuce.
Oh, God. John? Is that you?
Nations around the world still reeling from this morning's announcement, possibly the most significant event in recent history. We repeat, the Superman exists, and he is American.
They call me.
That was easy. You think he's got an overpair? What do you think? Oh, no 5, no ace. Sweet. And he's leading into me. Gotta love that blue deuce. Look at it, I got all the deuces. All in. Calls with aces. Usually they jam into me on that flop. Give me that blue deuce. Give me that blue deuce. Give me that blue deuce. I think it's the same guy in this other highlight that I had with the blue deuce. Oh, it's a red deuce. Damn it!
Structurally, there's no difference.
I can't even believe it's a red deuce.
While I am standing still, I prefer the stillness here.
Oh, and he fucking sucked out on the river, you fucker.
Please. If everyone would just go away and leave me alone. I said, leave me alone!
It's because it was the red deuce, it wasn't the blue deuce.
I am tired of Earth, these people. I'm tired of being caught in the tangle of their lives.
I really like that one. I want to play the little mini that I made. JMT Mini. I'm trying to come up with content for TikTok and stuff, and I posted this one on my TikTok. I like the way it came out, so I'll play that for you guys too.
Oh my God.
Hey, I got a 3.
Deja vu.
Ooh, look at my balance. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
What did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu.
And I got 3s. Look at that.
What is it?
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and I got trip 3s.
Oh, that's what they changed. We're trapped. There's no way out.
He calls. If he has an 8, I'm gonna puke.
Not like this. Not like this.
Great play, bro.
How about some more?
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
I really love the way that one came out too. It was pretty awesome. Let me see here. Nice. Yeah, let's play for a little while more. I was gonna skip it a little, but I kind of was like, I want to go get something to eat or whatever. I just gotta turn that down. Jesus. Sorry if I blew your ears out, guys. Why is that so loud? There we go. That's a good flop to post into. Oh, I see what you're saying there, Blaze. But when I say tax the rich, I don't think you understand my level of commitment to it. I'm saying take their money. I'm saying take their things. I'm saying billionaires shouldn't exist. I'm saying that's too much resources for one person. I'm saying go by your entire net worth, all your property, all your everything. Should there be different rules for people who aren't billionaires? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not saying tax the rich. I'm saying fuck the rich. So if they're hiding money in, real estate things and getting tax breaks, okay, fine. Well, this is your net worth. That's what we're taxing you on. That's what I want. I don't want to be fair. It's unfair that they have as much resources and they can still live happy lives. It's unfair that people can't afford food. That's what I want when I talk about when I say tax the rich. That's what I mean by fair. I mean take their things. The government comes in and goes, you have too much things, so we're taking them. And here's the other thing. Creating jobs is kind of all these things are like broad terms. Nice, chimichangas. Love that, Eric. Creating jobs is a broad term. Like there was one thing where it's like if you create jobs in one area, you eliminate them in another. I don't think the president has anything to say about creating jobs. Yeah, I definitely think I want to go get Chipotle. mean, the session started out really shitty. Was down 3 buy-ins in like no time. And now I'm ahead a little bit. So that's the thing, like, swings don't, like, when people talk about swings, it's like, I think they forget about the part where you consistently make good decisions and, like, you build and build and build and build, and then swings come when you get the money in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes all the way back to Super System with Doyle Brunson talking about how he would be so aggressive and take down so many pots that when the time came to get the money in with the big hands, you know, like the aces and kings, he was basically free rolling on their money, you know, or at least mostly free rolling. And the problem is that when those go against you for so many times, you know, it's not much you can do. So this is kind of a weird one. I do think I want to bet here to squeeze these two. It's not always advisable, especially with a newer player. Takes a long time and then calls. I might just win here. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Huh. Like, he didn't have enough to blocker bet with a pair. So my ace-jack was... I honestly... I thought we might be chopping at best, really. But a lot of times he's got the suited ace there and he just missed the flush. Could have been a deuce of clubs on the turn. Ugh, ace on the turn. That sucks. There's a lot of aces right here. Look at the call behind. There's a lot of sets right there. That's a bad turn. Ugh. It's kind of a good river. It's kind of not great. I don't think we get too many, like, raises in here, but I do think sometimes we see a bet. I mean, this guy bet the turn. I can't imagine. If this guy raises, it sucks. But if this guy, yeah, I don't think I can fold here. Yeah, because he's just got the straight, right? Been working as an IT guy for a local church where the youngest member is 10 years older than I am. They do not understand how to use what they have. Oh, that's brutal. I mean, that'll keep you employed, though. That's what you call job security right there. Facebook high tech. I mean, compared to the horse and buggy they grew up with, that is kind of high tech, right? Maybe they're going to get on that MySpace like the kids do. I'm going to check this one. I'd normally bet that, but with 3 players in the pot, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Yeah, that's my problem right there. There could be 2 pair a lot. Yeah, the ace 10 is definitely not great here. I mean, this could even be like a set, right? A set of jacks or something. Although 2 pairs is more likely. What is this fucking min raise shit? Min raise 3-bet, and I flop the fucking full house. I love it. Now, the problem is this is usually one of those stupid, you know, like suited connector raises that we keep seeing on the button. All right. I mean, that's an action killer. Jam-a-lamb. Whoa, Black Betty. Man, a fucking action killer. How do you call so easily on the turn and then do nothing on the river? Like, it's just, ugh. It's hilarious. Okay. Raise. 8's full. Raise. Queen 8. Look what I'm getting called by. Do we see what I'm getting called by? Pocket jacks. See, this is why I'm losing my mind. Queen 10, running trips, bet the flop. Like, here's the thing. Bet the flop, got called twice. Queen on the turn, checks. I lead the river. This guy calls with the jacks. This guy reopens the betting by min raising. I jam. The jacks call off inexplicably, and then he calls off begrudgingly. Hilarious. High-key hilarious. Like, this is why the frustration's coming in. I just wiped out 2 buy-ins off 2 separate players who had 0 hope after the flop. 0. Like, this is why I've been frustrated. That's how good these games are. Like, that is... Like, this min raise. Like, this is nothing. Min raise and then fold. Just no c-bet on the flop. Just totally fold. Super small bets. Players only got $1.70 left. How do you fold? You have 40 cents left. You put in 80% of your stack. How do you fold? How do you fold? How do you fold? And the reason why how do you fold? Well, he didn't make his hand. Well, he shouldn't be drawing for 80% of his fucking stack. Yeah, we're doing this. This is the same guy with the Queen 10. So, anybody want to play for it all? Hold. No chop. Hold it. Boom. Know when a guy's tilted. Take his fucking life. You gonna leave yet? You're gonna reload for $4. You know, there's an auto reload function you can use. Man, the fucking AC is cranking in my house right now for some reason.
I'm rewatching that King Queen hand. It's absolutely hilarious. Look at this. Gut shot and a flush draw and her pot eye raised. Gut shot on the turn. I'm going to go for it. Just don't pair the board. Yeah, call off with 2 pair. That's a good idea. Like, this is what I'm up against. Hilarious. Well, made it all the way to the river to get the ace. You gonna play sheriff? I just slept for 6 hours. It's midnight, so now I'm going to have fun time getting back to sleep later. Nice. What called me? Ace Jack. All right, that's reasonable. Oh, the AC is like kicking. Like Courtney must have been sweating. Like, dude, it's freezing in here right now. I have a little fan next to me that just distributes when I vape, and it makes very little air motion. I actually have to fucking shut it off. That's crazy. I ordered my first set of poker chips. I'm addicted to shuffling chips now. I will not have a set of chips on my desk ever again. I went through that too. I used to shuffle chips while I was playing poker online. It took the fire where I lost the chips to stop. Like, I would shuffle chips constantly. After the fire, years ago, when I lost the chips and I was just playing on my laptop like in a hotel, I broke the habit of shuffling chips. Now I don't even do it at a live poker table. I went and played live, right, about, I guess, June, or no, not June. I guess it would have been like April last year before the Delta variant kicked up. And I went out, and I'm the only guy at the table not shuffling chips. And it was really funny because people really think you can't play. But yeah, I finally broke the habit. But it took a goddamn house fire and a pandemic to break the habit of shuffling chips. And I'll never do it again. Like, it's just one of those things that, like, it actually used to hurt my fingers. I would do it so much. And I was good. I mean, I was a poker dealer, so I dealt with chips, in a very different sense than a lot of people. And I can still do all the chip tricks I used to know how to do and all that kind of shit. I would do them in the box while I was dealing. But, man, getting away from shuffling chips, like, one of my favorite prop bets that I watched on High Stakes Poker was the no shuffle bet. And I forget who it was, but it was $1,000 every time the person shuffled chips. And it's like, you get into a hand and you're sitting there thinking and all like that, and then all of a sudden, and you'd hear, that's one. And you'd go, and the guy would go, fuck! And you'd have to give the guy $1,000. It was so great to watch. I forget who it was. But eventually they just called off the bet. It was really funny. Are you guys hearing the music? Why is the music not being... Is the music not getting picked up?
Oh, there it goes. Jesus. That was weird. The fuck just jammed all in there? Three-way all in. Ace, queen, and queens. And the ace comes off. This guy just got one outed by two people. Or two outed by two people. That's hilarious. And now the music's on. What the fuck happened to the music before? That was weird. I think we can actually check that. I keep checking. I'm really not too concerned here. Yeah. I don't think we get paid. Man, good thing I didn't hit a 10, huh? Although I really don't know how far off he goes to a 10. Eight's not bad. Okay. Well, he never has a 9. Right? Like, I never have a 9. I'm surprised I didn't get called by ace high. Maybe I should have checked that one. Try to get the bluff. Man, I usually drink Diet Pepsi. I haven't had a Diet Coke in years. It's just like, I used to always be a Diet Coke guy, but then I switched over to Diet Pepsi. After I quit smoking, my taste buds changed. I gotta tell you, I don't really like Diet Coke, but in this mug with a ton of ice, it's actually really good. So, you heard it here first, guys. That Coca-Cola company is gonna be big one day. You should probably buy some stock if they're public. Damn. What the fuck? Chowzes. The fuck just happened here? Okay, so we see a raise and a bunch of calls. A fairly good-sized re-raise. Just call with the aces. Man. And then the call over here with the 9-7. I wish the 9-7 had won. You guys are fucking stupid. People who don't have a 4-betting range, even with aces, are fucking idiots. The guy bets, you min-raise. This guy jams. He goes over the top. Like, I know you have aces, but that's like the worst-case scenario right there. This guy just sit down. It was like his first hand. No, he's been here a while. He just lost his fucking mind. Really? He's here for 90 minutes and he fucking just lost it like that? Well, can't leave the table with money on it. Hope you're doing well today. Had to lurk for most of yesterday. Was busy doing work. All good, man. Yeah, I'm feeling better now, man. I started out today really feeling bad. Just having, you know, super bad luck. And hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was very defeated, but it's one of those things where you just know you have to just play through if you're playing well. And I'm not saying I'm completely through it, but I'm definitely feeling better now. And honestly, it's the stream. I gotta say, it's talking to people on stream, having some interaction, stuff like that. It really has made me feel better today. I really gotta thank you guys. Hitting some hands was nice too. But yeah, I'm feeling really well, or feeling really good. Made to the gym yesterday, did a killer chest workout, so my tits are sore. But definitely lifted my spirit having this stream. I'll tell you that, man. Oof. Right before the stream, Courtney was like, "What's wrong?" Like, because I've been kind of... She can tell when something's wrong since yesterday, and I just felt so fucking hopeless. And I was trying to explain it to her, and the analogy I came up with was, it's like you're walking around and you see a quarter on the ground, and you need that quarter really bad, and you bend down to pick it up, and you can't pick it up. Not that it's too heavy, you just can't pick it up. Every time you try to pick it up, your finger goes right through it. I toss a ball up and down while I'm playing. That's actually a good one. I used to have a little racquetball, one of the smaller racquetballs. I think they're actually used for squash. I'm not sure. I used to always have that in my pocket, and I would walk around. I saw Stallone do it in Rocky. He would walk around bouncing the ball and catching it and shit. And it's an old hand-eye coordination thing that boxers used to do back in the day. It's a really great tidbit from Rocky. That was a thing that boxers would do to sight in on something, and he just constantly did it. I'm the only one at the limit tables that is not shuffling checks. Watching a person shuffle, purposely keep messing up at a live game. I'll look up the no shuffle bet on YouTube. Sounds hilarious. It really was. I might have a queen here. Yeah, he beat me with a queen. Yeah, the no shuffle bet was great. I really forget who it was. It was a couple young guys. I think Tom Dwan might have been in on it, but it was either that or Jungle Man. I don't know if he took the bet or made the bet. I forget who it was. But somebody, it was like, yeah, $1,000. So I get 3-bet by the Bogan here. I'm going to 4-bet. This guy 3-bets way too much. But I've been consistently 4-betting him, so we'll see. Get called. This is right in his wheelhouse, but we're just going to get the money in. Aces. Don't free roll it. Jesus. Why don't you just get the fucking money in? That's kind of a good thing. I might purposely keep messing up at the live table game. I think the shuffling bet on YouTube is hilarious. Yeah. Let's see. I'm drinking Diet Coke, no caffeine right now. Nice. Yeah, I grew up on decaffeinated sodas. My dad hated caffeine. I don't know why. I think it was because when he was a med student, he like fucking OD'd on caffeine, like everybody else. But he always had like Diet Barks root beers, which are caffeine free, and Diet caffeine free Coke. And what was the other one? Diet Crush, I think, didn't have caffeine. I'm not sure. First time that I really got down, my pinky finger was bleeding by the end of the day 2, and that did not stop me. The first time you really got down shuffling. Yeah, I've seen guys get blisters on the outside of the pinky from doing that shit. Yeah, I've seen that. This game's dead. I think these games are dying because everybody's going to dinner. But I'm going to play a little bit more. Saw the first episode yesterday of Book of Boba Fett. Holy shit. Looks so good. No spoilers. I've only seen one episode. But it's the kind of TV I have to sit down and watch. Like, I don't do anything else while I'm watching Star Wars. And it looks really good. Like, really, really, really good. And it reminded me a lot of Patton Oswalt's rant on Parks and Rec. Like, I don't know if they're making references to it, but Jesus Christ, like, I had to go back and watch it, and a lot of the things that he said about Boba Fett and this, that, and the other, it looks like they might be coming true. So, I don't love this, but I don't hate it either. Gut shot, backdoor flush draw. Once I get past this player, I think I'm okay. Most of the time. Yeah. That's a nice bet. That's a nice bet. Well, I took 6.5 buy-ins off this table. I think we'll be done with it. That's a full pot bet. It's kind of weird. Now he just checks immediately. I might have it. Nah, he's got the better 8. People love you, Qui-Gon, and you love the people, don't you? I do love the people, man. I was talking to somebody a couple days ago, and somebody I'm seeing, and he was like saying, you know, you're too nice or whatever like that. And my feeling is like I act in a manner in which I would want the world to act. So it's not exactly the golden rule, right? What's the fucking golden rule? Treat others like you'd want to be treated. It's not exactly that. It's more so. A good example. You see somebody broken down on the side of the road, right? And they have a flat tire, and let's say it's an old lady, or it's somebody who looks like they're going to have a hard time changing the flat tire, right? Like, in the right world, we should all pull over and help this person change their tire, right? Like, it's no skin off your nose, right? Like, you're not going to... I'm going to play a little Hearthstone to Rat Hole. Like it doesn't hurt you to like pull over and help the person, right? Yeah, I'm gonna close this out. So why not pull over, help the person change their tire, and you know, just because it's a fellow human being, right? Like not looking for reward, not just because it's a hot chick, right? Like just truly, you know, just truly to be a good person, but not even for that, just to, man, I really did well there. I was down 3 buy-ins, ended up 4.5. Jesus Christ. That's pretty good. Racing drivers do a lot of reflex exercise with balls to keep their focus before a race. Fun to watch. Yeah. I've seen that too. What was the other one? Snipers. Snipers had a thing of flipping coins. I remember seeing a documentary, and they would flip coins and try to determine if it was heads or tails just by sight. It was really interesting. Beast, demons, elementals, murlocs, pirates, all these kind of suck. I guess I'll take this one. Yeah, the reflex stuff used to hit me too. I used to have a couple of things I would do when I was in a martial arts as a kid. Like, crazy shit. Well, I guess we take this one. That's kind of a strong play. I mean, there's no Quillbores. I'm not going to go for the demon. I've been going for the demon too much. That's a good freeze right there. I'll turn down this music a little. It's a little loud in my head. Well, that doesn't affect the volume for you guys at all. Look at that. Nice. So how do I do this? If I go 2-3 level, or I can go buy sell, or I can just level. I'm just gonna level. I'm gonna level and freeze. Should I freeze? No, I shouldn't freeze if I'm gonna level, right? Because then I can buy and use the hero power. Okay, cool. Although this is great to get for the hero power because it's essentially free. So yeah. No, I don't want it. No, yeah, I do. God damn it, that's tough. That's tough. Picked up 30 points too. Nice. Drink a bunch of coffee during the day, so if I drank caffeinated fizzy drinks too, it would be too much. Often they're cheaper than caffeinated alternatives. Very true. Yeah, the decaf stuff's usually cheaper. So I want that. Do I buy that? I guess I take this, right? Yeah. Something like that. I guess I can do this. Yeah, I can't drink caffeine or coffee. Oh, the unedited Phil Hellmuth rant? Yeah, I saw it. Where he dropped about 20 F-bombs in a minute and a half. I drank my coffee literally up to the minute I go to sleep. I'm gonna say, Blades, that you're military. Or no, you're not. You're a UK guy. Are you? Am I getting you confused? Because every guy that I knew that drank coffee to that extent, they were always military. Usually they were Marines. Like, Marines fucking in coffee, it's just like, it might as well be air. It's crazy. There's actually a bunch of Marines out here that run a place called Battlefield. It's like a shooting range, but it's more than that. Alright, this is a fucked up scenario. What the fuck? I got nothing I can take here? I guess I take these two. Yeah, so this place called Battlefield, basically you can go in there and you can fire any gun. Like, you can fire, they have AK-47s. They have the Peacemaker from Predator. You know, that Gatling gun, that thing that sprays bullets of spent uranium. They have that. They have every kind of like high-end military crazy gun that you could have, because they're all ex-Marines. And I used to bring people to them when I drove Uber for this little drop-off promo, but it was called Battlefield Earth, I think. Or not Battlefield Earth, Battlefield Vegas. Battlefield Earth was a movie. But in this world, it's all fucking what's in it for me. Very true. But anyway, so I remember going in there, and one of the days, one of the Marines who had seen me before goes, "Oh, hey man, you bring some more people for us?" And I go, yeah. And I show him, I've got customers. He's just like, "Oh, great." And he immediately, he's like this big dude. And he's just like, "Oh, this guy, man." He smacks me on the back and he's like, "He won't bring you to those other pussy ranges." He's like, "Over here, man, we got fucking grenade launchers if you want them." Like, just crazy shit. And he goes, "Oh, and we got something new. Check this out." And they had something called, it was either called Bulletproof or Kevlar or Armor or something like that. It was a coffee. And it was, well, I'm going to level here. No, I guess we do this and this. Sell this and do that. That's pretty good. So, they had made their own coffee. Like, they started their own coffee company, like, where they harvest their own beans and do this own shit. And I was like, dude, that is the most ridiculously sensible decision I've ever seen a Marine make in my life. And he goes, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because how many gallons of coffee do you drink a day?" Ever thought about playing sit and goes when tables start dropping? Yeah, the sit and go lobby on WSOP isn't too active. I do like to play the blast tournaments, but I'm just taking a little break now too. Sniper flipping coins. Yeah, well, I mean, dude, if you ever want to blow your mind as far as what human beings are capable of, just watch documentaries on what snipers go through. It's fucking bananas fucking cracker. It's crazy. I mean, they're just literally the most, like, imagine an astronaut with more study. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, the shit they have to go through. And that's just the spotter. Then there's the guy who pulls the trigger who's like, phew. Like, it's insane over the top. It was one part of this one documentary I watched a long time ago. I used to love military documentaries. And, like, just about the military, not like military, but like, you know, about different branches of the military and like how they train and what they do and shit. And, oh, this is tough. Well, I guess we take that, right? We take that. We toss this away. And I guess we can get rid of this too. Take this. Do something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And it was this fascinating thing that they talked about snipers and what they do, and like these are like the real snipers. These aren't like whatever target practice guys. Like these are the guys who like the line that I'm thinking of that made me remember this was this dude was talking about all his training and this, that, and the other, and all his training, everything was cool and you know, all like that. And then they asked him like, and I think he was retired because his vision started to go. And he said, you know, so what was something about being a sniper or spotter that you'd have to deal with that you didn't have to deal with as a sniper? And he goes, well, you know, as the guy actually pulling the trigger, you have all the responsibility, even though your spotter can fuck up. You know, it's like it's still up to you, right? And the guy goes, oh, and he goes, what's something you have to deal with as a sniper that they don't have to deal with? And he goes, that every time I pull the trigger, somebody dies. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Oh, Blades, you're in New York City. Are you military? Patton Oswalt, Boba Fett rant. Oh, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I thought you were talking about the Phil Hellmuth rant. No. Yeah, the Patton Oswalt rant. Oh, I've absolutely seen it. Many times. Okay, well, we're taking this. We're taking that. I mean, this isn't great because I don't have, or unless I get the taunt right now. No, I didn't get it. That's nuts. That's kind of hard. So I guess, ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Ooh, fuck, I want that. Okay, well, if I throw this away and throw this away, then I can have this. I can do this. I can do that. I can put this here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best move. Not military, but just an addict? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've noticed, man, like, I've, you know, a big caffeine guy, but I actually meter my caffeine content. Like, I actually have this version of 5 Hour Energy that comes in a big, like, it was like those juice, like those wine things that are in a box. They have, like, a spigot on them. And I actually use that. And, well, that was unlucky. To get the rat hit that quickly, that was unlucky. But I control the amount of caffeine I take in. But, dude, I worked at Starbucks. For like 2 years, I worked at fucking Starbucks. Holy shit. You want to talk about the worst human beings on the planet? Just take your average Starbucks goer and delay their coffee. I worked my first shift. This was fucked up. I had gotten the job. They were very happy, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My very first shift, they said, we need you to work in the morning. And I went, okay. And they were like, here's the thing. The mornings are super hectic. It's super busy. And the chick you're in it with is a real bitch. And I'm like, you're the manager telling me this about your own employee. I'm like, you're telling me this, Karen. And she goes, yeah. And I go, so you're telling me it's going to be an awful experience? She goes, yeah. And I go, okay. So I quit. And this is my first day, right? I'm supposed to go in. She goes, what? And I'm like, you're telling me I'm going to have an awful experience? I have zero training and you're throwing me on the busiest time of day? She's like, look, we just need a warm body there. She's like, can you run a cash register? I was like, yeah, I can run a fucking cash register. She was like, okay. And their cash register is fucked because you have to know all the names of the drinks and shit. So I was kind of like guessing. She even told me, she's like, don't worry about it. She's like, just get through the morning shift. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, I don't do very well with people barking orders at me. So if this chick that I'm going in there with, this, daytime manager, is as much of a bitch as you're telling me she is, we're going to have a fucking problem. And she goes, well, I'll talk to her ahead of time. So I show up. I show up, and it's a disaster. They're supposed to have 3 people on, 1 to run the register and 2 to make drinks, and a manager on duty. Literally, they had just me and the manager on duty, and I couldn't do shit. I show up, and she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm your new person, blah, blah, blah. She goes, have you ever, she's like, are you brand new? I'm like, yeah, I'm brand fucking new. And, oh, the hole in the ground? Yeah, I've heard that thing. They have to stay in one place for a long time. I've heard that too. I don't know if it's true either. I am not doing well this round. Give me a sec, I'll finish that story. I don't think I can level here. I gotta get stronger. Alright, that's pretty good. I gotta give something up. I don't want to give this up, but it's like my strongest unit, but it's not doing shit for me. That's helpful. You know what? I gotta do it. I gotta go full beast. You never want to go full beast, man, but sometimes you gotta go full beast. So, take this one. I guess we sell this so we can buff. Like that. Buff this one. God damn it. I guess this is okay. Yeah, it's not great, but it's okay. I might die here, but whatever. So anyway, so I show up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm brand new or whatever. She's like, wait a minute, you've never worked at Starbucks? I'm like, no. It was because she asked me where my name tag was. And I was like, they haven't given me one yet. She's like, you never worked at Starbucks? I'm like, no, I just got hired yesterday. And she's like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'll do what I can, but I make no guarantees. I don't know what to tell you. And she was like, okay. I'm there for 5 minutes. And people start rolling in. It's like 7 in the morning, right? That is super unlucky. It's like 7 in the morning. People start rolling in. And she's already bitching at me. And she's like yelling and screaming and all like that. And the people in the lobby are like looking at her like, she's fucking crazy. She's like high strung. Like, what the fuck is she doing? And that's not bad. I got lucky. So after like 2 volleys of her saying like, come on, blah, 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 and I was just like, who are you yelling at? And she goes, what? I'm like, who are you yelling at? I'm like, there's nobody else here. It's just me. So, in fact, who is it that you are yelling? And she was like, well, I need help with this, that, and the other. I'm like, I can't do that. And I'm like, and furthermore, I can't do that. I have 0 training. I don't know what to tell you, lady. And she was like, well, are you going to just blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, how about this? I quit. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I quit. How about that? I was like, how about I just fucking quit and go fuck yourself? I was like, I'm here. This is my first day, and you're going to sit there and treat me like that? I was like, I wouldn't accept that if I had worked here for 10 fucking years. I don't know what kind of a fucking horrible human being you are. And I just completely went nuts, right? People in the line laughing their ass off. And I looked at this one guy, I'm like, dude, it's my first day. Are you going to put up with this on your first day? And it became hilarious. She stopped, the shift ends at the end of the rush at like 10 a.m. Other people start coming in, and she's like, I need to talk to you, and I'm supposed to work till like 2 o'clock, and she goes, I need to talk to you. She goes, let me tell you something. During the shift, and at that moment, I saw Karen walk in, and that was my actual boss, and I said, hey, come here. She comes over, and I go, I quit, or tell her to shut the fuck up. And she was like, what? And I'm like, I'm walking out the door quitting unless you actually say the words, shut the fuck up. And she literally said, we'll talk about this later, to the other one. But she goes, but right now, shut the fuck up. And we walked away, and I told Karen what happened. And I was like, and I know you're not going to fire this cunt, so how about this? I quit, like, because this is ridiculous. I wanted to work here, but it's not going to work out, obviously. She actually told me, she's like, stay. We need somebody to fucking act this way. And I'm like, what? She's like, we need somebody to fucking not take shit. And I realized it was all just like soft young kids and very people pleaser women. So I just was me. And the entire time I worked there for like 2 years, I just ended up being me and being like, people would be like, where's my coffee? And I would just be like, up my ass. And they'd be like, what? And I'm like, do you want to go look for it? Or do you want to wait like everybody else? And people would die laughing. Like, I was always funny about it. But I definitely had a fucking attitude problem. Used to work at a gun range. Could tell you some stories. I've heard snipers make a hole in the ground. Yeah, we read that one. Watched one guy blow his ankle off because he raised his gun from the side and pulled the trigger. Was he a fucking... what is he, a fucking cowboy? What the fuck? That's like that thing, like where he's doing the quick draw. Was going through an old gift card this afternoon, found Starbucks card, not to mention an old Blockbuster card. Jesus. Not good with gift cards. That's funny. Yeah, that's why they make them expire, because people just throw them in a drawer and it's just free money for them. All right, so I'm up 4.5 buy-ins. There are 4 games going, but you know what? I'm super hungry. Wow, the lights are off. What the hell? I guess the sun went down. Jesus. I didn't realize the sun went down while I was sitting there concentrating on Hearthstone. I do appreciate you guys being here. Like, seriously, it really did change my day. I was dreading playing, but it's like that thing where I just had to play through. So I really do thank you guys for coming out. I always hear streamers say shit like, oh, I feel the love and thank you so much and it means a lot. And I do have that feeling, but today it really came through, and I got to tell you, I appreciate everybody coming out and talking, and it helps, man, because while I'm supposed to be the guy who's, studying and playing full-time and this, that, and the other, there is an emotional toll that things take on you, and I really want to thank you guys for coming out. It made my day, and I can guarantee you I'll be back in a little while. I'm just going to go get Chipotle, and maybe I'll go to the gym and then play more, depending on how the games are, or I'll play more and then go to the gym at night. So I'll be back in a few hours. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm going to send you off to a host. Please stick around for him, even if you're not familiar with the person I'm sending you to. They're an excellent, excellent streamer, one of the best in their field, and I think you'll really like them. And I'll see you guys later, man.